We're going to peek inside your own head and find out how you really learn. And I'm willing to bet the answer is not what you think.
All right, let me ask you something. When you learn a new skill, say you're trying to pick up guitar or a new language, what's actually happening up there? Is your brain physically sprouting brand new brain cells to hold that new info? So, if you said yes to that, well, you're not alone, not by a long shot. A study found that a whopping 82% of teachers believed this. But here's the thing.
Yeah, that idea? It's a total neuromyth. The truth is, learning isn't about adding new parts to your brain. It's all about changing and upgrading the brain you already have. And honestly, that's way, way cooler.
Okay, so if we're not growing new cells, then what is going on? Well, it all comes down to building connections. Basically, building highways inside your own brain.
The fancy scientific name for this is neuroplasticity. And really, all it means is that your brain has this amazing ability to reorganize itself. It's constantly forming new connections based on what you do and experience. And this isn't just something that happens when you're a kid. Your brain is doing it right now as you're listening to me.
Here's a really powerful way to picture this. Think of your brain as the super dense, overgrown forest. The first time you try to learn something new, like playing the piano, it's like trying to hack your way through that forest where there's no path at all.
So before you practice, the signals between all the different parts of your brain that you need for piano, for your hands, your ears, your eyes, those signals are weak, they're inefficient. It's a real struggle, right? But every time you practice, you're walking that same path again and again. You're stamping down the weeds, clearing the branches. Pretty soon, that difficult trek becomes a well-worn trail, then a clear path. Eventually, it's a superhighway. The signals are strong, fast, and efficient. That's a strong neural connection.
But building all these new highways is only half the story. To get really efficient, your brain also has to do a little housekeeping.
And that process is called synaptic pruning. Now, pruning sounds kind of scary, right? Like you're losing something. But it's actually one of the most important things your brain does for learning. It's like this. Your brain takes a look around and says, okay, which connections are we not really using? And it gets rid of them. Why? To free up resources and make the pathways you do use all the time even stronger.
So, you see, it's not a loss at all. It's specialization. It's like a sculptor who starts with a giant block of marble. They don't add anything, they chip away the useless bits to reveal the masterpiece that was hiding inside all along. That's what your brain is doing.
And this really explains the difference between a kid's brain and an adult's brain. A child's brain has way more connections. It's like that dense, untamed forest, full of potential but messy and not very efficient. An adult brain, after years of this pruning process, actually has fewer connections. But the ones left behind? They're those strong, fast, super efficient superhighways we were talking about.
So we're building highways, and we're clearing out the old, unused trails. But are there any cheat codes? Can we speed this whole process up? Oh, you bet. Let's talk about the rocket fuel for learning.
And the two biggest ones might seem almost too simple, but trust me, they're game changers. Positive emotions and quality sleep. Yeah, that's it. But their impact on how your brain learns and remembers is just profound.
Okay, let's start with emotions. How much do they really matter? Well, get this. Studies show that being in a positive emotional state when you're learning can boost your ability to remember that information by up to 30 or even 40%. I mean, that's not a small difference. That is a huge leg up.
But what's the science here? Why does this work? Well, when you feel things like curiosity, or maybe a little surprise, or just genuine enjoyment while you're learning, it lights up two key parts of your brain: the amygdala, which is like your emotion center, and the hippocampus, your memory-making hub. They work together to basically slap a giant neon "Save This" sticker on that experience for your brain. And then there's sleep. This is where the magic really happens. See, when you first learn something, that memory is really fragile. It's temporary. But then when you go into a deep sleep, your brain gets to work. It actually replays the neural activity from what you learned. But get this, it does it at up to 20 times the original speed. And this high-speed replay is what moves the memory from flimsy short-term storage into solid, long-term storage. Without sleep, that whole process just doesn't happen. Okay, so we've got building pathways, we've got pruning, and we've got the superchargers of sleep and emotion. But there is one last piece to this puzzle. And honestly, it might be the most powerful one of all, and that is making mistakes. This isn't just theory, by the way. Thanks to some incredible tech, like EEG, which basically listens to the electrical chatter in your brain, scientists can literally watch your brain catch a mistake in real time. They can see the precise moment your brain goes, whoops, that wasn't quite right.
And that brain signal has a name. It's called the error-related negativity, or ERN for short, and it is incredibly fast. We're talking it fires within 1/10 of a second of you making a mistake. That's often before your conscious mind even has a clue that you messed up. It's like this deep automatic oops signal from your brain.
You can actually see it right here in this brainwave graph. See that sharp negative dip? That's the ERN. That is your brain literally shouting, oops. It's an automatic alarm bell that tells you to pay attention and make an adjustment for next time.
So where does this amazing little signal come from? It all starts deep inside the brain, in an area called the cingulate cortex. You can think of it as your brain's built-in performance monitor or quality control manager. It's constantly checking, what did we want to do versus what did we actually do?
Okay, but why is this so important for you for everyday learning? Because the research is crystal clear. There's a direct link between how strong this ERN signal is and how well people do in things like school. A stronger ERN means your brain is more sensitive to its own errors, and because of that, it gets much, much better at learning from them.
So let's wrap this all up. What's the takeaway here? First, learning isn't about adding new brain cells. It's all about making smarter, stronger connections. Second, your brain is constantly cleaning house, pruning the weak paths to build those superhighways. Third, positive feelings and good sleep are like rocket fuel for this whole process. And maybe the biggest one of all, mistakes are not failures. They are pure, high-quality data that your brain is designed to use. And that leaves us with a really powerful final thought. Every single thing you experience, every skill you practice, every idea you think about, it is all physically changing the structure of your brain. Every day, you are the architect of your own mind. So the big question you have to ask yourself is, who do you want to become?